What's up, guys? Jake here, get back some Fatal 12. We just got a glass of water to calm down. And now we're calm, so let's fucking go. After a glass of water, I calm down. Meanwhile, Maharu gets ready to leave because she has to go to work.
I'll see you at school tomorrow.
Yeah, sorry for crying so much. That reminded me of how weak I am in comparison to you.
You may not realize it yourself, but I'd say you're far stronger than me.
I deny her claim with a shake of my head as she smiles at me.
We're not even halfway through Divine Selection. Remember, I'll be waiting for you once you've cleared up your own doubts.
Thanks, you know, I'd appreciate if you showed the same concern for yourself, though. Wow, I forgot, we have this bangin'-ass necklace.
Right back at you. Oh, and I'd say see you at school tomorrow, but I guess we'll see each other in the dream world before then.
Hey, whoa, that's not funny! But whatever, bye!
Yeah.
That said, she turns and makes her way out. I should be used to being alone here, yet somehow it feels a lot more quiet than before. It wasn't long ago that the three of us were talking and laughing. It's already almost afternoon, but I decided to open the store up. I also decided to give my gran a call later on the evening. Cool. Oh, good, now we get to watch a little girl die. Yay!
Good evening, my lovely little slaves to fate.
And thus today's session begins. Parker's graceful voice rings throughout the court. I really can't fathom what's going on through her mind. For what purpose does she devolve the intricacies of fate to us? What drove her to begin Divine Selection in the first place? Probably for a laugh, you know? It's probably funny as fuck.
My, aren't we a gloomy bunch today?
I refused to even consider her motivation before now, because I saw her as some ethereal being completely removed from the logic of humans. But now I find it hard not to remember what Sonia said. Fate can be changed. The idea of being able to alter the very elements of this ritual had never seemed to come to mind.
Come, why not lighten the mood and engage me in some riveting discussion?
Cut the crap and get on with it.
Alan's curt response serves as an attempt to hurry things along. I wonder where he is in the real world. I stopped researching him after meeting Sonia.
You're often in quite the rush, aren't you? Is there any particular reason for this?
I'm not one for pointless chit-chat. Besides, you're supposed to be a neutral party. Do you not consider the possibility other participants could benefit from my talking to you? Surely you wouldn't be pleased with your own actions and give others an unfair advantage, would you?
She doesn't give a fuck, dude.
Goodness, did something happen to my memory? I certainly don't recall making any claims about being a neutral party, nor that Divine Selection would be conducted in a fair manner.
Obviously it's not fair. There's like a 5-year-old here. What the fuck, dude? And your last name is Scorpion.
Hold on, that ain't right.
Federico Caminati is the next to chime in. Actually, this might be the first time I've heard him speak. Now that he's got my attention, I realize he might actually be the tallest one here. He's pretty stylish to boot. Okay, agree to disagree. The suit he's wearing looks great on him. I wouldn't blame anyone if they confused him for a model. Are we looking at the same guy? He looks like a dingus.
I'm sure as hell ain't fine with the idea of this whole thing being rigged when my life on the line.
Dude, you already died once. It's fine. Christ, this guy.
Oh my, is something the matter, numeral 3?
Number 11 reacts to Federico's outburst, which caused Maharu to shoot me a quick glance. Looks like these two really are working together.
Hell, this whole thing's been unfair ever since the cards were distributed at the beginning.
Yes, what the fuck are you complaining about? You already knew this.
2 of the cards I got belong to people who's already eliminated. Oh god.
He points toward Alan as he states his concerns.
So it's safe to say you only have 1 card of value remaining from your initial lot then.
You're really stupid, do you know that?
Oh god, I fucked up again.
Feel free to voice your issues regarding the system itself, but only a fool would say information like that in the open.
I'm gonna make you regret it if you keep running that mouth, asshole.
Yeah, you tell him, Federico.
I have no issue with the current system, so I'd prefer if you sped things along.
Very well then. I assume you're fine with it as well?
She turns to face Federico. He refuses to comply, raising his voice in a panic instead.
Just a second here. Are the rest of you fine with this?
He directs his question outward to the remaining participants, his arms spread wide. No one responds to him, though, because nobody cares about this stupid loser leprechaun. Not even number 11, his partner. Wow, get shit on, kid.
There's your answer. They may have their own issues, but they're all united not making a scene embarrassing themselves like you have. What's more, they'd much rather not make their own incompetence known to others like you just did.
I won't forget this, punk.
Don't worry, I have no intention of forgetting it until you've been eliminated.
Parker Parka ends up being the one to interrupt their argument with a sigh.
Really now, can you not save your argument for the real world? Assuming you meet there, of course.
Following that, she makes her way to the center of the court.
Regardless, allow me to begin tonight's selection. Revolvo, Clock of Fate.
Once again, it's time for us to decide whether or not we want to elect someone. Should things proceed as Sonia believes, number 11 will elect number 10 tonight. I grit my teeth at the inevitable and announce that I won't be electing anyone. Next up is Maharu, who will likely say the same. She will not. She's gonna murder that little girl. Maharu, you fucking monster! This is our 4th election. It's safe to say there's a solid split between how each of us are approaching the situation. Some have opted to go all out with info gathering. Others are choosing to sit back and let the situation unfold, which you might notice is a terrible idea. The fact that number 11 and 12 are the only ones to elect anyone yet is proof of that.
My turn then. In that case, I'll be electing you, number 10.
What the? Maharu! Oh, first time we'll be taking the plunge. Very well. Allow me to question the remaining participants first.
I can't hide my surprise. That's not good, because it could be a hint to others, as it's known by this point that we're acquainted. But that isn't enough to stop me from acting out. Meanwhile, Sonia seems unfazed by Maharu's election. Don't tell me, did they plan this from the beginning? Their conversation that night wasn't just about Sonia having Maharu's name card, but this as well. As I'm mulling it over, the clock hand eventually revolves around to number 11.
Yeah, I got an election all right. Same as that broad over there. I'm going for number 10.
She points to Sonia. It's obvious she hadn't anticipated the scenario. She doesn't seem bent out of shape, though. She looks more like she's been enjoying this turn of events. Much like a predator would as it bares its fangs toward its prey. Number 11 knows that Sonia holds her name card. If Maharu eliminates Sonia, it's possible she could end up with said card. Naturally, this is something number 11 wants to avoid. The same likely applies to Maharu. That's why they're both aiming to have Sonia's election called off. It wouldn't make sense for them to put one of their own cards out there to protect another.
So, was it in your script when that kind of situation comes...
I don't know who this... Is this Sonia? Why didn't you just say Sonia?
We ascertain whether or not you wish to obtain election priority, which requires one of you reveal a personal card to the other participants. Whoever does so first will be at a disadvantage, so do make your intentions known at the same time. Should you wish to obtain priority, then by all means, present me with one of your personal cards.
I ain't too fussed about fair or unfair. Gonna make it clear I'm not interested in doing that, so the decision's all yours, girly.
Oh, come now, number 11. I would much appreciate if you'd abide by my proposed rules. Your stance on the matter, number 2?
Margaret turns to face Maharu, speaking in a soft, slow tone. Maharu nods in response, opening her card book. She produces one card from it.
I'll reveal my name card to the rest of the participants. Now that I have the right to do so, number 10, I elect you.
Sonia remains unfazed by this turn of events. Her expression seems forlorn, but that's been true ever since Divine Selection began. Meanwhile, number 11 stopped smiling. She's giving Maharu a vitriolic glare instead.
She abandoned her own name. Well, no denying she's an interesting one.
Very well. With that decided, number 12 and number 2 and number 10,
allow me to begin the election procedure.
A familiar tremor accompanies her statement. Shortly after, Maharu's and Sonia's platforms ascend to the upper stratum. Maharu, I hope you have a plan that doesn't involve killing a little girl. Because that would suck, dude. Maharu and Sonia face one another in the upper stratum of the Court of Fate. Neither look too happy about what will soon take place. What if she's wrong? What happens? Does Snake Girl get a chance? Regardless, they make sure to maintain eye contact.
Thank you, Maharu! I'm the one that should be thanking you. I certainly never expected such a proposition from you, but your decision is the right one.
Yes, I knew Sister wouldn't be able to find it in her to do this.
I've already settled on giving my life for Rinka, so stealing myself for events like this is an easy feat.
Good evening once again.
Parka appears out of nowhere as usual, offering them both a welcoming smile. Maharu looks more than displeased by her presence.
I see you two are already acquainted. What's more, you don't seem to be hostile toward one another like other participants have been.
The only hostility present right now is being directed towards Parka herself. Maharu makes her desire not to engage with Parka clear by changing the subject.
So, what do I do now?
Choose the 3 cards that correspond to number 10 and read their contents to me.
Right.
Oh, Maharu's so pretty! Maharu's cards emerge from a book and float in the air in front of her. She plucks 3 cards from them.
Her name is Sophia Pernices Alexavises. I won't go into detail, but her cause of death was from illness.
Hello, hi, I feel like you have to go into detail. I think that's the rules.
Sophia, I still can't make any promises regarding your request, but Rinka said she's willing to carry it out. That being the case, I'll do everything I can to help her. Just remember my priority is to ensure she makes it through to the end.
I'm aware of this. I can still say with all my confidence that meeting both of you brought me more happiness than I'd ever experienced before. Please take care of Pazza here for me.
We will.
Maharu casts her eyes back down to her cards. A few moments later, she closed her eyes and recites the contents of the third card.
Her regret was not having the freedom to see the world at large.
All three cards begin to move on their own in response. Once they reach the middle of the Court of Fate, they come together and form a triangle. Like so. Goodbye.
I'm not fond of goodbyes. I'd much prefer to pray for myself and Rinka's happiness.
Wow! Maharu, fuck you! She's about to die! Let her say goodbye! Okay! She takes a deep breath before clasping her hands together and offering up a prayer. May Rinka and Maharu find joy in their future and fuck like rabbits.
Thank you, Sophia. I'll never forget you. May your soul rest in peace.
The light from Maharu's cards grows stronger and brighter until it engulfs the entire area. Maharu makes sure to keep her eyes on Sonia's tear-stained face, no matter how blinding the light grows. Oh look, this is that blinding light. Fuck, it's bright. Look at that. They really captured that. It's like I'm there. Hey, look, this is when we die. Feelings of regret and emptiness begin to flow into her. She finds herself laying on Sophia's bed in her room. The doctors rushed in as her parents looked on, praying for her safety. The girl reflected on her life as her breathing grew even more pained. The ceiling of this room was perhaps the most viewed scenery she had witnessed throughout her life. She could only ever experience the outside world through a book or monitor. Freedom remained a foreign concept. Just how much time did she spend imagining the wonders that would come with attaining such a thing? In the end, her life was nothing but dull. Dull to the point where she spent her final moments contemplating her reality, how compared to the vast world she'd so longed to experience. Man, that was fun, right? I liked the part where the little girl died.
You have to be rotten to the core to make us experience the last moments of those we eliminate.
Unfortunately, I had no say in the matter. Do not forget, this is a ritual. Your election tonight's forcefully reverted the fate of that young girl back to its original course. The Court of Fate exists to carry out that ritual. Alas, nothing can be done about each participant being affected by the aftermath of their own actions.
Wait a minute. You mean to tell me you had no say in the matter, despite the ritual being named Divine Selection? Is there a force involved here that even you can't control?
Rather than receive an answer, Maharu's platform begins its descent. It returns to the lower stratum.
I'm not terribly fond of needless curiosities.
Parka utters her words only after Maharu has gone far enough away. Cool. Hey look, a clock. Weird. Ooh, yeah, that funky bass, though. Number 2 comes back down instead of Odette this time. It's been obvious that her and number 1 know each other ever since this whole thing started. Oh god, we changed perspectives. I also figure they aren't at odds with each other, which means it's likely they're working together, like me and Odette. Oh good, we're back to Leprechaun Boy. This is what I like. Damn, did tonight ever take me by surprise? I was sure she'd back down once Odette said she would. Odette's obviously going to prioritize protecting her own information over eliminating Sophia. Even if the chance of me cooperating with Sophia existed, it was still a lot less dangerous for Odette to get hold of the information Sophia had than the other participant. Odette's point in ignoring what Parka said made it clear that there's no need for number 2 to reveal one of her cards. But she went and gave up her name card anyway.
Such a thing is sure throwing me for a loop.
Gotta say, number 1 sure is the little runt compared to number 2. I assume they're both Asian, but boy does number 2 have the right glamour and proportions. Yeah, dude, let's be a creepy leprechaun and ogle at high schoolers. I figured she'd get eliminated pretty quick, but she went ahead and surprised me. That's a woman after my own heart, please stop. The best women are the gutsy ones, definitely. Not counting freaks of nature like Odette, of course.
Which card would you like to obtain?
She posed the all-important question, number 2. No doubt she's gunning for Odette's card. Oh, well, I'll take number 1's cause of death. Hey, fuck off! Whoa, whoa! Hey! That wasn't part of the deal! Damn! She betrays my expectations once again. What's going on here? She had that all along! Doesn't look like anyone's more surprised by this turn of events than number 1 herself. Can't blame her. Out of all the cards number 2 could have picked, she wants one belonging to the person she's working together with.
Why do you satisfy your urge to keep talking? Understand that the situation you're in requires being silent above all else.
Number 2 slaps her with a frigid verbal warning. Maharu, fuck off. Number 1 is obviously taken aback, but it does cause her to keep quiet.
Now that your election is over, I'd like you to hand me the personal card of your choosing in exchange for obtaining her right to eliminate number 10.
I assume this is fine.
Parker approaches her and hands her the card. My card begins to shine immediately after. Name 2, Hibina Maharu. Hibinata Maharu. We did know her name, fuck off! Hibina, I can't read that fucking name, huh? Maharu is pretty easy for me to pronounce. Guess that explains the procedure for revealing your name card to the others. Feels more fitting to say everyone simply obtains it. The others check their card books as well. Why, Maharu?
I have nothing more to say to you at the moment.
Number 1 was surprised over obtaining her card too. That means Maharu revealed her real name. What? Okay, whatever. Safe to say whatever's going on here at this point if you ask me. Their relationship's done for. No, dude, they are gonna fuck! I mean, what?
Tonight's session resulted in 1 elimination. I bid you all farewell for now.
Parker brings an end to tonight's election, ignoring number 1's shock over the turn of events. The whole situation's gotten pretty messy now. I was starting to panic a bit myself, considering Odette and number 12 were outdoing me, but I guess we're at a point where anything can happen. Hey, watching Odette get taken for a ride felt amazing. I was even planning on approaching Maharu had she opted to go with Odette's info, but seems like I'm best sticking off with Odette for now. When all's said and done, I have to put some serious effort into containing this newfound ambition of mine. Look at that, another achievement! Why am I so good at killing high schoolers? Or children, whatever. Just killing people in general. It's time to meet up with Odette at the hotel. I still haven't gotten over my excitement about what happened last night in the dream world.
Yo, did you see those 2 last night? Looks like number 1 and 2 have some major issues to work out, huh? Man, there's just something thrilling about watching them falling out like that.
Odette makes it obvious how little she cares about listening to me as I ramble on and on. Christ, do you mind not being this annoying first thing in the morning? All I care about is getting some grub, so let's hit the buffet. Kinda bored of the selection, but it tastes good enough to choke down.
And here I thought it'd be useful info for whenever we decide to target one of them.
After saying that, I finally noticed Odette's in a rotten mood. She's always in a rotten mood, my dude. The excitement I got from their little quarrel made me forget all about what actually happened during last night's election. That Maharu kid ain't to be taken lightly, especially since she beat me to the punch. She might look annoyed, but here's the thing. Her voice makes her sound a little thrilled by it. Heh, this little game's finally getting interesting. I don't think I'll ever understand that monster's logic. Not after this outburst and what she did to that Russian brat. I can say one thing for sure, though. She ain't the only one who thinks things have finally gotten interesting. And then we fade out. Yay! And then we fade in. Woo! Wait, do we not have to play as them? Oh, yay! Oh, we get to play as more Rinka! I fucking love Rinka. Anyways, on that cheery note, I'm gonna draw this episode to a close. So thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you liked it, don't forget to like, subscribe. And be sure to next week, where we don't have to play as that annoying leprechaun. I'll see you guys then.